Dwight Ball, who is the former Premier of Newfoundland and Labrador, to talk more about this. Dwight, thanks for being here.
Hi, Matt. Good to be here.
Listen, over the last number of weeks, we've seen back and forth. Was looking at some polling that the Liberals had a pretty healthy lead at least a couple of weeks ago. What has this campaign been like for you, for maybe other people across the country that haven't been following it too closely?
Well, certainly fascinating, the news coming out of the Middle East today. We should never take days like this for granted, especially on Thanksgiving Day. And yes, you're right. Tomorrow, Newfoundlanders and Labradorians will go to the polls with 3 new leaders in a fixed election date. So no surprise that October the 14th is our day. The weather forecast is good, so campaign teams are ready. And in anticipation of what the events will be tomorrow, no doubt there will be changes. And going into the election, I think the governing Liberals, their preference would be talking about Churchill Falls and the memorandum of understanding with the province of Quebec and where that would be in the future of our province. But no surprise to any, the 2 issues that rose to the top were healthcare and cost of living. So right now we have cost of platforms out. The revenue associated to the Liberal platform certainly comes from the Upper Churchill deal, where the PCs, they believe that they can find this with internal revenue. So it's an exciting day for Newfoundlanders and Labradorians tomorrow. There'll be lots of new faces, lots of changes, I'm sure, and we're just hoping for a good turnout tomorrow.
Yeah, energy. John Hogan really did want to make it about that Churchill Falls project. We've covered that, I think, at least especially in your province here in the last little bit. But as you mentioned, healthcare, cost of living, clearly a couple of the top 2 issues. John Hogan led the province through some of the wildfires after becoming Premier earlier this year, and especially what happened over the course of the summer. Do the PCs have a chance of forming government in your view right now, or are they likely to be opposition again?
Well, if you listen to the polls, the limited number that are out there, you would think that, yes, the PCs will be in opposition tomorrow. And on Wednesday morning, Premier Hogan will once again be the Premier. The real question is how many seats in this particular case. Right now, what we're seeing in the province, the Liberals are very strong in the St. John's and Metro area, where the PCs have been continually picking up support outside of St. John's in more rural districts, and they've been doing this since 2019. So the key question is there enough support in rural Newfoundland to take the PCs into a minority government, or can they make some breakthroughs into St. John's and the metro area? Nothing in the polling today is suggesting that things will change to any extent that Tony would wake up on Wednesday morning and be Premier of our province. So Premier Hogan has done a very good job in introducing himself to Newfoundlanders and Labradorians. And we keep in mind, this has been an extremely busy year for the Premier. He's been through a leadership. He's dealt with the wildfires that you just mentioned in August and did an excellent job in doing so. And that was his opportunity to get introduced to people in the province. And so far, what we hear on the ground is what they see they like out of the Premier.
Okay, we're going to be watching it closely. Dwight Ball, former Premier of Newfoundland and Labrador. Thanks for your time this morning, Dwight.